Yeah, can we talk?
Hello, Annette. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you, Anita?
I am great. I am blessed and highly favored.
Oh, not the
And
high.
hello to all of our movers. How you doing? How y'all doing tonight? We love y'all and we're so grateful that you decided to come out with us tonight. You could have gone anywhere else, but you showed up right here, right here, right here, and right now at the appointed time to have a conversation with us. So we are so appreciative of your time, of your presence. We want to say hello to all of our movers that have popped in tonight so far. Hello, and thank you for tuning in. We got her in here at the top of the hour. Grace Union Completion. Go ahead, Annette.
Completion.
Woo! That little vibrato, Annette. That vibrato was perfect. Completion. Yes, held it all nice and focused and toned. So we're so grateful that you all have come out. She said she's in listen mode tonight because she's it's wash night for that hair. Ooh, honey, I understand. Look who just popped in. Look who just popped in. Jassy Carrot. Oh, we haven't seen Jassy Carrot in a long time. And we just have to give her an applause. Good to see you. All right. All righty, good people. We're so grateful to have all of our movers. Yes, it's been a long time. It has been a while. And yes, Grace, I understand you about that hair. Ooh, because my time is coming up and I do not look forward to it. All righty. So before we get into our conversation, we just want to say again, thank you so much for tuning in. We ask that you do a few things for us before we get started with our conversation. Our conversation gets started. Once we get started, listen. Oh, she said, thank you. She took her bow. She took a bow in that, Jassy Carrot.
Oh,
And once we get started with our conversation, we have something lined up for you each and every week. But before we do, we ask that you please, the video that you're watching is either on Facebook or YouTube. We ask that you please, ma'am, please, sir, subscribe or join or whatever it is, our Facebook group, our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. You subscribe to that channel. We ask that you please do that, please, ma'am, please, sir. Because listen, we want to get the word out. We like to get the word out to Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. Somebody say everybody. Lottie, Dottie, and who in that?
Everybody.
Who in that? Who again? Say it one more time.
Everybody.
Everybody. Y'all know who everybody is? Everybody mean everybody. So we want to get the word out to Lottie, Dottie, and everybody that we are about it. We are on our conversation. We have gotten started on tonight. So please hit that like button, subscribe button, please hit that share button. That share button, you can share your Facebook, on Facebook, you can share it to your Facebook page. You can share it in your DM as I am doing right now. Somebody say right now, not right now, but right now. So you can share it to your Facebook page, to your Facebook group, into the DMs. You can also share it on YouTube. You can click that button and you could copy the link, and then you can send it out in a text message. So do that right now. Click that link, copy it, send it out to about 5 people and tell them, listen, you want to get in on this conversation. You don't want to miss the conversation right now because it's about to be going on. So we ask that you do that. Please hit that like button, that share button, and that subscribe button. And we also, please, ma'am, please, sir, leave a comment every now. We like to hear from our people. You know, our movers be tripping. They don't hold nothing back. Listen, they be all in. They don't be playing around. And so we want you all to leave a comment here or there. The other thing that you could do is you can sow a seed. We are a nonprofit organization. All seeds that are sown into this ministry, we always pray that it returns to you 100-fold. So you can sow via Cash App. Our Cash App is $Movement Worldwide. You can sow via Zelle. Our Zelle is info@movementworldwide.org. Or you can become a patron by... How do you become a patron? I'm so glad you asked. You asked great questions. And my partner, Annette, agrees. Don't you, Annette?
I agree totally.
She agrees totally, she says. So you Become a patron. This is a covenant partner where you give a monthly seed by going to our website. Our website is movementworldwide.org. You click the red button that says become a patron. It takes you to patreon.com. You can set up your account and set your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's just 40 cents a day, $2.80 a week. So please sow a seed into Movement Worldwide. And then everywhere that you see that globe above Annette's head, everywhere you see that acronym, follow us on our social media platforms at Movement Worldwide. And you can also email us your thoughts, views, comments, praise reports, prayer requests, topic ideas, all to info@movementworldwide.org. Now, without further ado, it's time for us to go into our conversation. We come to you every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. with Can We Talk, where we have a threefold conversation. We start off our conversation with the idioms, the phrases, the quotes, those things that make you go, hmm. Those things that make you go, I mean, they make you think, they make you ponder. It's like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. So we ask that you please, ma'am, please, sir, pause for just about a minute, and we're going to go into our transformational topic. Now, we take an idiom, we take a phrase, we go from some practical information, we go from some biblical information, we just share a little something with you that encourages you and that empowers you. So we're going to actually, our phrase on tonight is a very simple one, and it's a very common one that just really intrigued me when I started getting into it. Our transformational topic on tonight, I don't take it lightly. This is something that I do. Listen, when I do this, I take it seriously because I believe that sometimes we are a little too deep. We're so heavenly bound that we're no earthly good. Oh, I'll let y'all get that in a minute. But sometimes we like to that little practical message. You know, we can ride down the street and see a billboard. We can see squirrels and lizards and get alert. Well, the idiom that we're going to use tonight is you hold. You hold. I don't know, are you hearing a hum in that? Because I'm hearing a hum. That's
you hear it now?
Who else is hearing it? You're hearing it? Are you hearing it?
No, I have. Do you hear those now?
No, I don't hear a hum now.
Okay, that was my my Beyonce fan.
Oh, okay. Like, what is that? And then trying to get her little Beyonce going on. I feel you though in that. It gets a little hot. So we're gonna go into this transformational topic. Transformational topic is you hold the cards. This idiom, this phrase means to be in control of a situation and have the power to make decisions. It's your decision. You're holding the cards. You hear people say all the time, if I could live life all over again. Ooh, if I could be 20 again, child. If I could just go back in time. It's all about the choices that we made. One of the Bible's greatest principles is choose life. God sets before us two ways of life, his way and the wrong way. And he gives us the freedom to choose which one we're going to follow. We have free will. So life itself, going through life, it's about choices. Some choices we regret, some we're proud of. And there are some choices in that will haunt us for the rest of our life.
I know that's right.
What you say now. Some choices some choices in that you really want to forget that you ever made that decision. Oh my Lord, have mercy, Jesus. And those are the things that we be like, oh, if I could just go back. Oh Lord, if I could just turn back the hands of time, but you can't.
You can't, no.
Because you have made your choice. Your whole life is about choices. Choices. I used to tell Kyle when he was young, choices cost. So you have to be careful what you choose. Even when we choose wrong and live a hard life because of our decisions, though, I want you to understand something. The wonderful thing about God is that you can always choose again. He's a God of another chance. You can't go and fix your old mistakes, but what you can do is make changes and live better from wherever you're starting right now. It's not too late. Just make the changes. And some people are stuck right there. They're stuck with the actual act of making the change. It's like, oh, so what? You chose wrong. Choose again. I don't understand this. If you know you chose wrong, are you going to stay there?
Yeah.
Girl, I'm telling you, if you know you made the wrong choice, are you going to stay in the choice that you made? Choose better so that you can live better. What good does it do for you to live in your daily mistakes? Change the path. Live according to God's will and his purpose and his promises for your life. Here's one for you, Annette. Stop settling. I got another one. Stop existing. And live. The choices we make that are righteous, good, and pure, and the ones that are of God, they will unfold for us a path of life. And the path brings us to God's blessings and his anointing and his perfect will and his purpose. And finding God's purpose and will for our life becomes a progressive unfolding of events as we make choices that are pleasing to God. Now, the choices that we make that are wrong, disobedient to God, or against the inner voice of the Holy Spirit will bring horrible destruction, death to the process towards your purpose. It does not yield great. So these choices, when we make the wrong choices, they release the demonic imps and the spirits of darkness to work and wreak havoc in our lives. They bring pain and devastation and suffering and hurtful, lasting consequences. Yeah. I don't want to live in that. I don't want to live in the devastation and in the pain and in the consequences of my choice. But see, the thing is, you have the power to decide. Don't allow yourself to wallow in your wrong. You hold the cards to make it different. Oh, I'm talking to somebody today. I'm talking to somebody tonight. I might be talking to somebody who's not even on here. You hold the cards to make the things in your life different. But instead, you're choosing to wallow in the pain and the discomfort of your choices. So I want to talk to you tonight, and you know, in this transformational topic, I'm not telling you something that somebody told me or that somebody showed me. I'm telling you something that I have lived, that I have experienced, and I had to make things different. Because why? Because Anita, with her big head self, chose wrong. So don't allow yourself to wallow in it. Choose life. Make a choice today. God has given us the power of that. So that's where I'm getting my word from today. I'm getting my word from the commentary that I've laid out for you today. The word is to choose. You have the right to choose. And I know somebody might not feel that way right now, because sometimes people will tell you when you do something wrong, you have to wallow in it for the rest of your life. And I've seen people force people into marriages, force people into relationships, force people into jobs and career choices and all kinds of things, but that they did not want, they didn't desire for their own life. And because of that, you lived a life of misery and pain. I remember there's one girl whose mother forced her to become a librarian. This is somebody I know. Her mother forced her to become a librarian, and she ended up getting into chronic fatigue syndrome. And by the time she was 30, she looked like she was about 70. And I was like, oh my God, look at her. She doesn't even look the same. She lost her youth. She lost her vitality. She never went out and pursued life. She never had friends. I don't even think she ever went to a football game or to the movies. Most, she stayed at home all the time in chronic fatigue syndrome to this day. And she looks old. She's younger than me, and she looks like she's about 70 or 80 years old because of the weight of that despair and the stress and the fatigue, and that, it's a health condition that weighs on you physically. because she did not live the life that she would have wanted to live. She lived according to what somebody else chose for her. But you have the right, and I want you to type this in right now. I'm going to type it in myself. I have the right to choose. Just type that in. I have the right to choose. It's my choice. I have the right to choose my educational path. I have the right to choose. And when you're choosing to marry, you have to choose based on your decision and based on God saying, okay, that's the right thing. Don't be going into that thing on your own, because that been done that, and I won't go back no more. Ho. And that the song been there, I won't go back no more. I won't go back. So because I have the right to choose, I can do things differently. And when I look at it from that perspective, I'm like, oh my God, this is the word for us tonight. So I want you to decide. I want you to look over your life. And if there's something that you are walking in and standing in and wallowing in, that you know that I see y'all, that you know is not what God has ordained for you. I want you to type in, I have the right to choose. And I want you to listen to what I'm going to say to you right now about choosing, because that's the word that I've chosen tonight. Y'all know I like to take a word and deal with it from a transitive and intransitive tense. To choose in a transitive tense, a transitive verb needs an object to make sense. An intransitive verb just makes sense without one. So the transitive tense of this verb means to select freely and after consideration. To select freely and after consideration. You have to look at your situation and you have to take everything into consideration. And you have to really weigh your options. Count your losses. And if it's time to move on, guess what? You need to move on. And you need to select freely, choose freely the path that God had chosen for you. And the other thing is to decide. That's the intransitive. The intransitive tense of this verb is to take an alternative. So when you choose freely, you select freely after consideration, and you decide, you take an alternative. That means you're going to get on a path that is unlike where you are right now, because the path that you're on is not leading you anywhere. You're on a trip on your way to nowhere because you're on the wrong path. You have the right to choose. You hold all the cards. So choose properly. And that is our transformational topic tonight. Annette, your thoughts?
Oh man, that was powerful. I was thinking about something I saw recently of this young lady. She had been married 25 years. Her husband was not faithful. He was not a good man. He was actually horrible. And they asked her why she didn't, leave him. And she said, because I don't want to start over.
Oh my God.
She didn't want to start over.
No idea what's at your new beginning.
Yeah. But she chose to stay there, even though she wasn't happy. She knew he wasn't a good man. He was abusive, and let's go on and on. But she was so afraid to start over. And sometimes you have to listen. I'm the start over queen. Sometimes you have to start over. I have walked away. It ain't like I wanted to be divorced all them times, but it worked out that way. I started real early with the divorce. I was divorced at 21. So sometimes you got to walk away. I took my kids and our clothes, and I couldn't drive. My brother-in-law at the time got the car, and I left, and I started over. And I've always started over. So, it's up to you. So this lady stayed all these years, and so she's going to die. She was unhappy. She was going to die unhappy. I prefer to be by myself and happy than to be with someone who's miserable.
Right.
And then this is one of the things you said that really jumped out at me. God says before us two ways, his way and the wrong way. Ain't no other way.
It's two paths.
His way or the wrong way. And so I can attest to I've been on the wrong way path for many years. But I finally got on the right path. Thank you, Lord.
And it's never too late.
It's never
too late. There's something that I just put up you have to exercise the gift of goodbye.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say goodbye to something that doesn't serve you. Something or someone that doesn't serve you. It is okay to say goodbye, but the Bible says if I child, they take stuff too literal and don't even study. The Bible says to study to show thyself approved. And one thing you have to understand is that when you made the choice in the first place, God wasn't in it.
That's
So
right.
when you walked away from the situation, repent, ask God for forgiveness, because guess what? God forgives sin. He hates divorce, but he loves the divorced.
That's right.
So you are okay to walk away from the situation and to unite where you feel like you're supposed to, when the time is right and with the right situation and person. But a lot of times we're holding on to that and using that as the crutch or the excuse.
Yeah.
But God does not mean for me to stay in something that doesn't serve me. He doesn't mean for me to be miserable and unhappy. He said, I am come that you might have life and might have it more abundantly. But if you're unhappy and you're getting bumped upside the head all the time and he's cheating and you're not being served, why are you giving all of your youth and good years to something that doesn't serve you? And I remember, I think it was Trotter who said, why stay where you're tolerated? Go where you're celebrated. You could be missing out on an incredible man, an incredible relationship full of love and bliss and something that you would never even think that you could have with another human being, but you're determined to stay in a situation that's toxic.
Yeah. That's true.
And all because you're trying to say, well, God, yeah, he didn't tell you to marry him in the first place.
Oh, didn't. Yeah.
I guess y'all say Anita's been guilty of that. Yes,
I've been guilty this many times. Well, no, 3.
You got it right now.
And then don't allow people to cause you to make the wrong choices.
Exactly.
Trying to appease people. I don't care. I wrote my life in my book. It is what it is. I wish it was different. But and I often, and this is one of my things for anybody who try to come for me about my marriages, what I tell them, I said, well, the difference is I married, you shanked. You had babies.
I like your comment when you said, at least somebody asked me.
Yeah. Oh, I've been asking more. I've been asked more time than I accepted, and that's just the truth. Now most of them was bums, but I was asked.
At least was asked. Exactly.
Yeah. So
at least somebody asked you.
And choose to live your life. Live your life. The word they say now, your truth. Live your life. Make those choices. I'm telling you, I never thought I would be where I am now, but I made some choices, good and bad. But hey, ultimately, it all came together. But that was a good topic, Anita. Very, very
well. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that it blessed somebody. I know sometimes when we walking down these conversations in the beginning, it's a little tight. And it's a little tight, a little right, but I ain't the one with the power tool. That's just transformation power tool.
That was really good because we just need truth, and it's just the way it is. And this is why so many people, especially in the church, because I'm not saying they don't preach the Bible, but let's preach what's really happening. Man, even in the church, I went through some years of some places I shouldn't have been. Because I thought, that's the pastor. He just know he gonna love it. He gonna, girl.
And then you give up. When you think about it, you gave up so much of your youth, so much of your time, so much of your vitality, so much of your strength, and your good years, your good mind. It's like, wow. But you know what? God is a restorer, and that's why I understand. And I know that more so now than ever because, child, if I had what I have now, the wisdom and the strength and the fortitude, and I would have been a force to be reckoned with. I was already that within myself anyway. But if I would have had what I have now back then, child, please. If I had the strength, if I had the gift of goodbye back then, if I had the strength and the ability to go and start businesses like I do back then, in my youth, in my strength, but we spend sometimes years crying and whining over a relationship that didn't work out, crying and whining over, somebody don't like me. Get up, come on. That's why we want to help people, especially now, and we like to reach back to the young. Y'all listen. Because there was probably a few wise people. I know there was a few wise people said some things to me for walking down some of those paths I did, but I was determined, and I was, like they say, on my way to hell, enjoying the trip. I was determined to do things my way.
Yeah, me too.
And it cost me, and that's why I used to tell Kyle, choices cost. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you good years. It's going to cost you your will and your strength. It's going to cost your spirit. You are going to be weak. You're going to have to go through some things. You have to get up off that floor because of some of the choices that you make. Woo! All right, we're going to come off of that because we can stay there forever.
So good. We should have did that tonight. That's good.
So, all right. So that was our transformational topic. Now it's time for us to shift gears, y'all. It's time for us to shift gears. But before we do, we got our Can We Talk toast. Pull out your mug. Bam, 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 bam. We toasting y'all with the mug. Yes. All right. Yes, we toast. So thank you all so much. Listen, still share because we got a few other things to share. We got some more information. We're coming back with our power plug. But before we do, our power tool, power plug is on Sunday. But before we do, we're going to pause for a quote from the quoteologist herself. We're going to pause for a minute for our Annettism, brought to us by Annette L. Anderson. Please share while we're going. We'll be back in about a minute and 21 seconds.
Shine bright like a diamond. A diamond begins as a charcoal that have been pressured and polished so that it will sparkle and shine. Even after this process have been completed, a diamond can still be flawed but yet not lose its luster and its value. As we peruse through life, know that there will be times of pressures and times of polishing. Even when you are flawed, God will give you favor and He knows your value. Matthew 5:16 states, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." So continue to shine bright like a diamond. This is Annettism's Expressions.
All right. You were singing, what you singing? All right, y'all. We getting ready to move forward on to the power tool. I want to say power plug to Anita for some reason. I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to look at my notes tonight. All right, then. I have a little saying I'm supposed to do. Okay, here it is. All righty. There are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. Sometimes it just takes a conversation to mend a broken heart or spirit. And there are so many that hearts are just broken. Oh boy. Oh Lord. In some cases, a Band-Aid won't do it. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
Okay. Our power tool for tonight is I fear for my life. I fear for my life. This is a statement that is used by police officers to justify killing that happens every day. Usually when a police kills someone, it's I fear for my life. Using the statement, I began to look at life and see the things that we fear. There are so many things in life we fear. You wanted to use a play on words. To understand where I'm going with this conversation tonight, we must understand that fear means to reverence, to be in awe of, or respect. It also means an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. We look at our lives with fear. We look at our lives with in fear in finances, a fear of not living up to what others expect, fear of saying something wrong. When people identify themselves as them, they are those. Even then, we're scared because I'm just going to go there. I'm looking like, but I only see one person. So we're scared to even identify ourselves. Everybody else is coming out and identify as. But when is the last time that we identified ourselves as believers? And we don't have to succumb, we don't have to shrink like a violet because somebody else believes something else. But I stand and I identify as a Christian, as a believer. If you can identify them, there, and those, I'm okay with that. But I have to learn how to stand and declare who I am. And sometimes there's a fear. We're scared to say who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the fear of the political arena, which has absolutely gone berserk. Stuff I see now, I didn't never think I would ever see. That, and also fear that even after 60 years of the MLK speech, racism is still on an all-time high. We fear that we'll always be in our current situation. We fear that we will never find anybody. We fear that we will never be loved. And for so many years, I have, and so many others have lived in fear. I have even feared for my life. And I just want to touch on this. When I'm talking about that, I'm not talking in the vein of what police officers have done and that verbiage they use, but I'm saying I feared for my own life.
Mm-hmm.
I feared because I didn't think I was a good enough parent. I feared even raising them that I would instill something in them, that I would not have to go to a prison to see them because they grew up in an environment that they were exposed to certain things. So I feared for that. I feared for my life. If we're not careful, we live in perpetual fear. Everything, we're scared. We know what the word of God says, but all of a sudden we're scared because now I'm fearing for my life. But even though I know he said it, I'm still somewhere on the inside dealing with that. The Bible states, for God have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So the problem is this. We don't walk in the power. We don't walk in love. And some of us sure enough don't have a sound mind. So we're dealing with that constant fear of life. That's First Timothy 1:1-7. Yet, like so many others, I have fear for my life, always causing me unpleasant emotion that is dangerous. Causing I used to be scared to lose my job, scared to walk away from my job. And so that's how I know that I've conquered quite a chunk of my fear, because I walked away from a job I never thought I would walk away from. I had always said I would work 40 years. I worked 37, but it took a lot for me to walk away. Fear is a tool the devil uses against us to make us miserable and destroy our lives. We are miserable, but we'll stay. Well, I talked about that earlier with the young lady. We're miserable. We know it's not right. But we fear for our life. We fear for change. We fear for the things that we've always had. And a lot of times we don't want to step away. We don't want to do anything different. We don't want to step out. We don't even want to believe that we can do it. And so, and when we talk about and think about fear, it actually begins with a thought, and then it creates emotions that rules us. Our mind tells us that we'll never overcome. Our mind tells us that we can't build a business, or organization, or ministry. Mm-hmm. Our mind tells us that we will always, be making $15 an hour and just be glad you got a job. But no. I'm just tired of fearing for my life. And when you fear, it often becomes a strong, intense feeling that tries to move us to make a foolish action, or tries to prevent us from doing something that will be good for us. And even when we fear things, we know it's probably the right thing. We know it's the time to take that leap. But fear get in the way. I fear for my life because it was a common way that Satan just had because I said, God, I can't step out. I can't do that. Who am I? I told myself, oh, you're a Black woman. Oh, you this. Oh, no, baby. No. I used to fear for my life, but I walk in victory now. I think of it as a master spirit when he uses to manipulate. That's what fear does. It manipulates people and keep them out of the will of God. Simply put, fear is the opposite of faith. Because, see, if the enemy can keep you balled up in fear, you'll never be able to walk in faith. You will never be able to understand how awesome it is when you step out. Even when you step out with nothing. I have stepped out with nothing. With the movement, heck, I even know nothing, but I stepped out. Was I scared? Yeah. But I had to remind myself that fear I had, God didn't give it to me. He did not give. That was a fear that the enemy gave me, because he knew that there was something coming. The enemy doesn't know all about your life, but he knows something's happening. Something's going to come. So if I can stop her in her tracks, she'll never be who she's been. Because she'll never write a book. She'll never write quotes. She'll never start a ministry. She'll never step out. She'll never go to preach. She'll never be able to preach in a large venue because she'll be so scared. Oh, no, baby. I'm conquering this thing called fear. God wants us to walk by faith, and Satan wants us to walk by fear. When we learn to live by faith and not let fear rule our life, we can live a fulfilling, satisfying, peaceful, and joyful life in Christ. Now, let me say this. No, everything won't be hunky-dory. There will be times when things may go awry. But what happens is that faith overrule the fear. So even though it may be a little raggedy right now, like raggedy like a mango seed, like my mom used to say, even though it may be raggedy right now, because of my faith, it counteracts fear. Fear begins in thoughts. Proverbs 23:7 says this. Tell us that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What are you thinking today? Are you telling yourself that you will always walk in fear? Are you telling yourself that you'll never be anybody? Are you telling yourself you won't be able to do things that you know you've been called to do? I like to say it like this: where the mind goes, the man follows. Let me say that again.
Mm.
The mind goes, the man's going to follow. Per scripture, you no longer have to fear for life. Psalms 119 and 120 says this: my flesh tremble in fear. I stand in the awe of his laws. Yes, this is the fear of the Lord, the fear of reverence. Now, if I'm gonna be scared, that's what I'm gonna be scared of. Because I will not be fearful for my life. I will not fear for my life. And even going back to the police officers, they use that as a tool in some cases to do things that's heinous. I fear for my life. And let's take it back even in our lives. We're the same way. We may not put a gun in nobody's face, or we may not do a whole lot of stuff, but we use that as an excuse not to do the things that we've been called to do. This is why I say I feared for my life. Not that I feared, ed, because the way I used to think, I don't think anymore. And the things that I used to do, I don't do those things anymore. So I changed my mind. If you ever can get upstairs and begin to change your mind, it will change your life, because that's where it starts at. That's where it begins at. And I said before here, like I said this, where the mind goes, the man follows. And that's why so many of us fear for our lives, because we're going wherever our mind take us. So we got to learn how to change the mind, and it'll change the man. And that's it for me.
Wow. Thank you for that, Annette. Very, very powerful and on time, because in this climate, and I typed this up earlier, in this climate, it's so difficult. Somebody else put it up that they said they fear going to grocery stores. And I know I do. I fear going to grocery stores, and I have to really overcome those fears. I have to pray. I will pray in the parking lot before I go in. I sit there sometimes and I watch the surroundings, watch the people. I find myself going into stores and stuff and looking for the exit, and I'm really like running in and running out. I don't linger. I don't lollygag. I don't, I'm not. That's just not what I'm doing. Because I watch the dynamics, and we've seen too much in this day and age. And then when it comes to, just life in general, we are going to have it. And it's such a thief, because it will cripple you and keep you closed into a shell that you won't even live. And I had to overcome so much of it because of the things that we see every day.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful power tool, and we thank you for that. We thank you for sharing that with us and helping to empower us so that we can grow past where we are and get past our fears. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Fear is a thief, and it wants to rob you of your sanity and everything that you have. So we have to learn to get past it and know that God is in control ultimately anyway. So there's nothing you could do about things that may or may not happen. You don't even know. And because of the fear of unknown, we don't do things that don't go anywhere, because we're, well, what if this might happen? What if they might do this like they did in this state or that state? And that's what I had to get past in a lot of instances. Now, some stuff I still won't do, but there's a whole lot more that I will do, because now I feel more comfortable because I've gotten over the fear. So, all right, good people. So that was our power tool. I told y'all it gets powerful, it gets serious in the beginning. But oh my God, we got some topics coming for you. But before we do, we're going to pause for another moment for our commercial break. And after our commercial break, make sure you come on and cop a squat. But while we're gone, please share and let somebody know. You better get in there now. They're about to go on to the topics, and y'all know that's the highlight. So we're going to pause for our commercial. We'll be back in a few minutes. See y'all.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. Yes. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself.
Absolutely.
So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Absolutely. Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast.
As we continue to help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orated, articulated, and reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patreon button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share. It's that time. Tea Time Topics.
It's time for Tea Time Topics. Tea Time Topics. Say what? Tea Time Topics. Come on now. Woo, woo. Get your dance on. Woo, woo. I see you. Woo, woo. Oh, look at you. Okay, come on. Take it.
Very solid.
Take it to the end. There you go. All right. It's time for our Tea Time Topics. Y'all know how we like to do it. And we are starting with our first one. Oh my goodness, Rad Chair. I just had to put my comment up first. Rad chair. Now, this is a hot mess, y'all. When I read this story, I was like, what the family foolery is this? He got it from his mama. A mother and son duo who carried zip ties as they searched for lawmakers after breaching the U.S. Capitol were sentenced to federal prison for several felony and misdemeanor charges in connection with the riots. Eric Munchell, 32, dubbed Zip Tie Guy on social media, was sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison, followed by 36 months of supervised release on the 8th of September. His mother, Lisa Marie Eisenhart, 59 years old, was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison, followed by 36 months of supervised release. They each have been ordered to pay $2,000 in restitution. They were convicted earlier this year on obstruction and conspiracy charges, and Munchell, who was armed with a taser, was additionally found guilty of disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon and unauthorized possession of a deadly or dangerous weapon on Capitol grounds. Photos and videos capture Munchell carrying plastic zip tie style handcuffs they allegedly stole from inside a closet at the Capitol. Zip ties. I need to get me some of them, you know what he said. Munchell can be heard in video footage saying this. Photos and videos capture Munchell carrying the plastic zip tie style handcuffs they allegedly stole from inside a closet in the Capitol. And he got his hands on his zip ties. And he's heard saying this, that he got to get him some of them MFers.
Mm-hmm.
And as they made their way to the Senate gallery with Munchell shouting, "I want that effing gavel," the pair wondered aloud where the traitors and cowards who evacuated the chamber had gone. So they're out there yelling, "Where are the traitors and where are the cowards?" Because they wanted to tie them up. They were ready to do some harm to people. The U.S. Department of Justice said the pair were looking for potential hostages. That's exactly what they were looking to do. And that is some ridiculous stuff. And that's why I said, what the family foolery is this? Your thoughts on that?
That's why I say he got it from his mama. I started to say mammy, but he got it from his mama. Because you going to go somewhere and do something like this with your child. I mean, he a grown man, but still. You know, and she
like some example this mom is.
Yeah.
Jesus. Ridiculous. But you know what? And you can't tell these people that they weren't right.
They said she's still defiant.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if things hadn't worked out, then y'all would have been murderers, because it was going to, the way they were acting, they were getting ready to kill somebody. I thank God that
they hang Mike Pence.
Yeah.
And they hung a
he up there with his boy. Them people know
he'll support Trump if he's the nominee again. I'm like, you a dummy.
I would have said no, because you ain't gonna win no way. You might as well say no.
Exactly. And he's never gonna use you again anyway.
He never. And he's never denounced the fight. But them people gonna hang you.
Ridiculous. So why would you support somebody like that, who clearly didn't care anything about you?
They sell their souls. Honestly,
there's no other
explanation for that. Oh my!
No other explanation.
For power, child. I want some power. The Holy Ghost power. That's a keeper. That. Anyway, I'm glad, and there's still some more of them. Oh well,
there's a bunch of them. They still the prison sentences are coming down.
Oh,
listen, you can run, but you can't hide, and you all on video and all on audio. So there's no way you can work around it. They were
going to kill those people, Anita. They was going to kill those people because they had got whipped. Now normally they make, sometimes people get caught up, I guess, but the way y'all became Spider-Mans.
Climbing walls, and then that whole girl that got killed trying to climb the window.
With her self-fulfilling prophecy, because they had a video of her saying the only way that President Biden be the president is over her dead body. Okay.
Well,
they had a video with her saying, I said, Lord, have mercy. Girl, you and wherever you go when you die, and Biden still president.
You spoke it.
You spoke it.
You spoke.
Girl, she didn't realize she was a prophet.
Yeah, but she knew wherever she lifted her eyes. It is sad. All right, fellas, come on, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Did you see this video? The original video?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. In Naples, Florida.
You already know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A Naples, Florida head football coach is stepping down from his position after he was captured using explicit language and verbally assaulting one of his players. Derek Jenks, also founder of SWFL Preparatory and Technical Institute, revealed that he is suspending himself until further notice. U.S. Today reported. He said, I hold my players in high accountability for the way they act, and I need to be held to the same standards. Jinx, 45. He's 45. He look a little older than that. Said in a video published on the school Facebook page on February 8th. I'm sorry, September the 8th. And at the moment, I felt like I let my team down and my coaches down and our program down for the actions I displayed, he continued. I'm going to do what I can to seek mentorship for myself to be able to be able to become a better coach and mentor to my players. His public statement comes in response to a video shared by the outlet that shows the coach yelling and cursing at player Avin Day, which received heavy criticism online. At one moment, Jenks called Day the B word, and told him to square up with him. Yeah, Jenks was sitting beside Day in the announcement. Yes, little boy, he cussed like a dog. He cussed like down to the bottom cuss. In the video, the player said he forgives his coach's actions and appreciate him taking accountability. Okay, that was very nice of him, I guess. However, according to the Naples Daily News, his mother called it incident heartbreaking, and that the family is considering all options at this moment. Everyone who knows my child knows he is no gangster. No, he is no drug dealer. Knows he loves the Lord and comes from a home where he was taught the difference between right and wrong. Oh boy, so whatever the mama name, she got a name for you. There is no moment where this is acceptable. People on social media argue that Jenks should be terminated and condemned. That Day was included in Jenks' apology video. According to its website, SWFL Preparatory and Technical Institute, home of the Seahawks, is a program that offers student athletes the opportunity to play football while attending a credit recovery program or technical college. So he went on. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody cuss somebody out like that.
Ridiculous.
And then he was so like, like he really wants. I think if the boy would have stood up, he would have hit him.
He would have.
He was ready to fight.
Rage. He was in rage.
Rage, like that kind of rage. And you're so mad you spit when you talk.
Yes.
I was like, are you kidding me? I could hardly watch the video. I said, I could hardly watch that video. But I wanted to see it, just to see what it was. It was
hard to watch.
It's very graphic.
Watch. Yes.
Grown, rusty man challenging a child because he wanted to fight him.
Yes, it was like he was taking a stance, like he wanted the child to move. He wanted to provoke the child to do something so he could say he defended himself. That's
right.
I'm like, whatever.
You're right. Yeah.
Ridiculous. And it's like, you know what? You were poking the bear.
Yeah. You want to say I fear for my life.
How about you go poke one of the family members like that? You're not gonna do that. No, you're gonna cuss a child out who's in a position that if they do something, they get in trouble.
He went on and on and on, and that ain't the first time, obviously.
Right?
Because the boy just sit there and looked at him, so it wasn't the first time that he's done it.
Sit myself down. Whatever. I have no sympathy for you at all.
I hope they fire him because you should not be allowed to cuss an adult like that. That's not a child in school.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It ain't like one or two little cuss words. No, you went on and you rolled it out. Like on the street corner under a tree. Drunk.
The young man he never said nothing
at all.
I applaud the young man for that.
I wouldn't have sat with him and took no darn picture.
I wouldn't either, but maybe they did that for the school, not necessarily for him.
I wouldn't have done it for the school.
I would, but the mama must be getting permission.
Child, I wouldn't have gave my child. I'm like, shut up, Anita. Just go ahead and put your little womp up. And then my womp up before they be having a video saying, "Oh, I can't even say all the words." Because I'm telling you, they'll push you there. All right, fellas. Come on and take us to the next. I'm telling you, this thing is getting intense up in here, y'all.
Moving. We keep it moving.
And here we go. And here we go, Annette. With your people. Here we go with your people, Annette.
I know it.
Here we go with Annette's people. Oh my God. The principal of a Florida elementary school where a group of Black students were pulled out of class for low test scores has resigned. And she should have. She has resigned. Bunnell Elementary Principal Donnell Evanson stepped down from her role on Thursday, Fox 35 Orlando reported. Evanson and a teacher who was also involved were previously suspended and placed on paid leave amid an investigation into the assembly that prompted significant backlash from parents, and it should have. But Bunnell and this hometown, Bunnell elementary school principal Annette L, when she resigned. Now, here's the thing: the students told their parents that they felt singled out after they were reportedly pulled out of class and sent to the cafeteria to view a presentation. Now, you're going to pull these kids out of class. You're going to single them out, and you're going to make them feel bad. They already feel bad. Yes. Bunnell, Jassy. And that's hometown concert. Yes. Girl, they getting you there. They getting you.
Yeah.
So you're going to pull these children out of class and make them go to the cafeteria for a presentation. The parents were not informed of the impromptu assembly, and the students were instructed to attend regardless of their test scores. One of the slides stated African Americans have underperformed or on standardized assessment for the past 3 years. Only 32% are at level 3 or higher, according to the local news outlets. They were also allegedly told that if they were unsuccessful, they would end up being killed or go to jail. Superintendent Shakira, who name is sorry, LaShakira Moore, acknowledged the incident, adding that there was no ill intention behind the assembly. Whatever. Per the report, Moore issued this statement saying that the school and organization are committed to restoring the rest of this year. According to Fox 35, the school's former principal will take Evanson's place in an interim position. Speaking to the outlet, one parent agrees with the decision, regardless whether she resigned or was terminated. As long as she is not at the school, I'm okay with it, Jacinda Arrington told the news station. During an interview with WJXT, Evanson said the purpose of the assembly was to motivate. How are you motivating them when you're pointing out faults and you're singling out Black kids? That's not motivation. That was your intent, was to motivate the students, and that they were not specially targeted because of their race. But you showed anyway. You also noted that the presentation was ideal of another teacher who is Black. The idea of another teacher is Black. What's being portrayed is not who I am. Okay. And that, they always go there.
Oh, yeah.
That's not who I am. What's being portrayed, how I'm being viewed, is not who I am. That's not really who I am or what I'm about. That's not me. What's being portrayed is not who I am. And that was not my intent. That was not the vision, she reported, she said, adding, after talking to families and hearing the frustration, I definitely understand the concern of having the students that were participating only being African-American students. And so I would, in hindsight, do that differently. But I never was looking at it from a racial aspect. Girl, bye. And that's your thoughts?
Well, one thing about it, if the score has been that low for 3 years, that's not a reflection on the children. That's a reflection on the school.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you got that many kids that's having the problems, then there maybe needs to be some tutoring. You don't put kids on display like you've been bad and let me take you out. And then something was said I didn't like about. I guess you read it. Something. If the kids didn't do this or that, they may end up wherever. Well, heck, I sucked in math. And I made it okay. I just have a problem with her. I knew they was gonna fire because they had just the superintendent. She's a Black young lady, she in her 40s. I already knew coming aboard. I know this girl. I said, you getting ready to get fired because she had already interviewed us. And she said, we handling this. I said, handling that means. Yeah, you resign. You have you wasn't given a choice. Either you quit or we fire you.
Exactly.
So shame on them to pull those babies out like that.
Shame on them. Shame on everybody who had something to do with that. That was not good. It was not right. And by the way, Jassy, Bunnell is the name of the city with the one stoplight where Annette grew up.
Yeah.
So
It's really. So now, we got there's two. Wait a minute. How many lights there now? 2?
Y'all got 2 now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. After how many
Yes,
years?
too.
After
And
100
actually, that
years?
school, Bunnell Elementary, used to be Bunnell High School before we integrated and and they sent us there. But yeah, I say, we Bunnell ain't make national news. But really, come on now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist that every kid that you sent were black.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the issue was. If it had been, if it had been 3 or 4 little white kids, it would have never made news.
Exactly.
But
When
that's
every
the
kid
real
that you sent to
issue.
the cafeteria was black.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And you say that it was your
And say for 3 years. So that's a reflection. For 3 years, come on. And
whatever, man.
somebody need to do something better.
Exactly. That's a reflection on the school and the faculty.
Yeah. Red,
Not
that
on the
girl,
kids.
like I said, I was hot as fish grease when I read that. I said,
That's a bunch of saying for y'all if you don't know. Oh, that's a Bunnell saying. So I just want y'all know. Hot as fish grease. Well, we want them all the way back to Bunnell, and we're gonna move on to the next one because Annette is hot as fish grease. All right.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay, this is a very interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
An Alabama woman was sentenced to a year behind bars after prosecutors said she violated her black neighbor's civil rights. In 2019, according to the Department of Justice, 64, she little over 64, year-old Cheryl Lynn Polinsky displayed racially offensive homemade dolls on the neighbor's fence to intimidate the neighbor and force her to move out of the neighborhood. Prosecutors said Polinsky admitted to targeting the neighbors due to their race. She pleaded guilty to a criminal violation of Fair Housing Act in March. She was handed down her 12-month sentence on Wednesday, September 6th. A person who violates the Fair Housing Act, if he or she uses force or threaten, use force, willfully injure, intimidate, or interfere with any person because of his or her race, or color, religion, handicap, and go on and on. They have a problem. There's an issue. So she's mad because the lady was there. Now I was thinking, now I'm gonna read a little bit more, but you taking the time to make a doggone doll,
right?
So I'm wondering, was she trying to do a voodoo doll? I don't know.
No.
As WDHN reported in 2019, the incident happened in Ozark, Alabama, about 86 miles from Montgomery. It sounds like they only got one red light too. I don't know. Photos obtained by the outlet shows the word boo-hoo, and KKK painted on the doll. And it don't take a genius to see a black dog with a rope around his neck hanging from a post or a tree with KKK, one resident told WDHN at the time. Polinsky reportedly tied the dolls in a way that made it very difficult to have them removed. I don't know. I would have, child. Anyway, Lord, thank you. That was my neighbor because she'd have been tied on the fence. Reports shows the dolls were displaced for several weeks before they could be completely taken down. I wonder why. Heron said she then put up a display with a crybaby on it after the police ordered that the racist doll be removed. Recently, and they're talking about recently a separate incident, resident in Montgomery neighborhoods said their property vandalized with racial slurs. But this is the first time I ever heard somebody do a doll. So she was making the dolls. And she don't sew too well, by the way. That's not a cute doll. And then you take a black doll, and put on somebody's fence. People like that, sometimes it's good that certain people live by them because some people wouldn't took too kindly to that. She got that stupid smile on her face, but
I want to slap it off.
Yeah, slap them glasses off. But to torment somebody because you don't like the color of their skin, you in trouble because this is society. I mean, she said she's 64. That means she was either born in 1958 or 1959. I'm 64. So, baby, you still got a problem?
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Child. Ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Some stupid dog. This stupid. I have a question.
Oh, you go to jail for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up on her. Is she gonna move back in the neighborhood?
Girl.
I don't know.
I would.
I'm sorry. I would have to whip her tail. If I saw her, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to windmill her.
An old-fashioned street fight.
Yeah, you come and put don't buy, and the people didn't bother her. If it was back and forth, then it was a conflict. But it was just her. She didn't like the fact that they were living next to her. They didn't do anything to her.
Nancy talking about Oompa Loompa redhead Nana needs to take her meds.
Yeah.
I'm a lie right now.
They should have gave her more than 12 months. They should have gave her about 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And put her in the room. Make sure everybody in the room black. Everybody should go eat with black. The doctor, because this is the country we live in. Oh my God.
It is. And you might as well get used to it.
Yeah. It don't bother me. I don't care. People are people. God made us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Man. Oh well. Come on, fellas. Move us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
She said the family should have taken that doll and whipped her with it. I know that's right.
Oh, sure.
I know that's right. Should have taken it and whipped her behind with it. Taken the rope off of it and whipped her with that rope.
Girl, that's sewing dolls. Girl, whatever.
Tie her to a fence like Medea tied that little girl to the cross in that movie. She tied that little girl to the cross. Oh my God, with lights. That's funny. All right, come on with the next one. This is a very interesting story. Sad. United Airlines is paying $30 million, and yes, I said it, to the family of a quadriplegic man who went into a coma following an incident as he was being wheeled off a plane. The family of Nathaniel Foster Jr. alleged a lawsuit that United failed to abide by the standard of care owed to the disabled passengers after an agent aggressively pushes his wheelchair while helping him deplane in 2019 that caused Foster to sustain significant and permanent brain damage, according to the complaint. As a result of the incident, Foster was left unable to speak or eat solid foods, and his life expectancy has fallen from 39 to 31.5 years, the suit alleged. United settled the lawsuit on Tuesday following a one-day trial in San Francisco federal court. Oh, Jesus. Of the $30 million settlement, roughly $12 million will cover legal fees and $3 million will cover other costs, Reuters reported. The carrier did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Foster, who used a wheelchair, ventilator, and tracheal tube at the time of the incident, jerked forward and back and slouched in his chair after it was forcefully pushed while he disembarked, the family's lawyer said in legal filing. According to the complaint, Foster looked fearful and whispered, "I can't breathe," during the incident, but a gate agent giggled and said, "We got this," to a doctor who offered to help the man. Foster then suffered a heart attack, and a doctor at the scene found he had no pulse. Foster's mother said she received assurances that her son would be properly assisted getting on and off the plane when she called United's accessibility desk ahead of their trip, according to the complaint. However, only one flight attendant was initially present to help Foster disembark the plane when they arrived in Louisiana, and the suit claimed. Foster typically required assistance of 4 to 6 people to exit the plane, according to the complaint. Lawyers and Foster's family did not immediately respond to CBS Money Watch's request for comment. It has to be, you have to be a special person to care for somebody who is disabled like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when people are helpless, and then they're counting on you to help them in their helpless situation, you need to be a person who has a level of compassion for people, not just a job. We got this. So you just jerking them and pulling and pushing and jerking and pulling and pushing. And the man had a trach. He had all kinds of things going on with him. It is a very sad situation. And I'm glad they're getting paid, though it ain't enough. I agree with Jassy. It's not enough. It's not enough for what that poor child went through. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he already had disabilities, and so y'all added to it.
Exactly.
I mean, the man had a heart attack. He stopped breathing, brain damage. Mm-hmm. Come on.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But you know what? Some heads have already rolled and gonna continue to roll.
Oh, you know that.
Pocket gonna be coming out somewhere. So bless his little heart. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and to this young man, and for all that he had to endure. It's really sad, and he shouldn't have had to. Shouldn't have had to.
Shouldn't he?
All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All right. I just think she's so pretty. In an interview with Essence, a dynamic duo of, I guess you pronounce her name, Aisha Curry, and an NBA All-Star Steph Curry, I don't watch basketball so announced a major commitment to the Oakland Unified Public School District. The couple foundation, Eat, Learn, Play, is pledging $50 million to the district to support Oakland students between now and 2016. We got to call them, Nita. Call them tonight.
I know that's right. Donation.
We want to really support and amplify the system that are already in place within the school district and commit a $50 million plus plan and strategy that's been developed over these last year, Steph says. The commitment to the school system would really meet these kids where they are and really support them in ways that across these three pillars will unlock their full potential, he notes. Those three pillars are eating, learning, and playing. We need to send them to Bunnell. Important of a number of metrics. Almost 78% of the kids qualify for either free or low cost meal plans to buff up what's provided in terms of healthy, nutritious meal is bare necessity that every kid deserves. So we're showing up in meaningful way there. Obviously, with empty stomach, it's hard to show up in a classroom and be productive. Steph said, as far as learning, the couple is planning to improve literacy rates. Our literacy goals are huge because the third grade reading level and accomplishment there are metrics for high school completion. Steph said around 66% of third graders in the old USD system are below grade level proficiency. They want students to have access to tutors as well as access to culturally relevant and age-appropriate books to improve those scores. And that is what I said, what needed to be done. And in a lot of part of this country, that's what Bunnell was missing, not bringing kids and, but anyway, this is amazing. $50 million. $50 million.
A lot of money. And that's what you do. You give back. God blesses us to be a blessing, and they're giving back. I mean, Steph Curry is a very successful basketball player. Really, his stats are as high. Him and LeBron are like neck and neck. It's like he's really, changed the game as it relates to that. And then here we are, she is beautiful, and they're giving back in a way that, that is going to be impactful to a lot of lives. So my hats off to them. We give them the thumbs up and the applause from the great, incredible work that they're doing. Beautiful couple doing big, wonderful, great things. So we love them and we applaud them 100%. That is amazing. I love that story.
I know. And let me say this right quick. So those of us who like to sit around and say what they don't give back. Black people don't get. That's not true. Do your research. These are people giving, not just LeBron. A lot of this entertainment.
So much.
It's a lot of them out there. So.
Yeah, but you have to remember, there's a whole lot of people in the world, and they can't give to all the 80-something, 160-something, however many millions of people in the United States.
Because I asked somebody the other day, Anita, she was carrying on about over. I said, when the last time you gave some money? Exactly. Did you give some? Because I'm just going to go at all these sending these $10 and $15, $20 to Trump to an organization like this. I mean, I'm talking about for those you give to who you want to give to, but I'm talking about for those who always talking about what somebody else ain't doing, then you do it.
What are you doing? With your little $2? Do something. All right, fellas.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Wow, amazing. Okay, the farmer in the dale, the farmer in the dale, the farmer in the dale. I was talking to Annette clapping her hands in the background. The Black Farmer Fund, BFF, just reached a major milestone. BFF, a community-led investment fund for Black-owned agricultural and food businesses, has announced the successfully raised a raise of $11 million per a new release shared with Essence. The feature is a part of a larger goal to raise $20 million for its BFF Fund 2.0. We are humbled by the support of our investors, from investors aligned with our community to racial and economic justice, said Olivia Watkins, co-founder of Black Farmer Fund, in a statement. With $11 million secured, we are well on our way to achieving our $20 million goal. This significant milestone reaffirms our belief that when we empower Black communities, we foster a stronger, more inclusive food system that benefits all of us. The fund provides Northeast-based Black-owned food and agribusinesses with grants and operational support to bolster aid in scaling and stability. BFF was founded in response to racist policies and systems that block Black farmers from receiving the funding and technical support they need to grow. Our for us, by us approach goes against the traditional lending practices by providing patient, non-extractive capital and putting the decisions around who receives funding in the hands of experienced Black farmers and food systems entrepreneurs across the Northeast. The support from investors who share our vision for a more equitable and sustainable food ecosystem has been overwhelming, and we continue our journey to reach our $20 million fundraising target. We are grateful for the commitment of our partners who recognize the importance of our mission. A statement shared with Essence reads, among those who supported the capital raise is Shradata Capital and Katele Foundation. This is great because, and I love the for us, by us approach, because you know what? That's why it's important for us to give back to us. And if we would circulate our own money in our own community amongst our own people, our own businesses, we would empower greatly.
So would.
Your thoughts?
So would. I totally agree with you wholeheartedly. And I know we did a story not too long ago about this guy going around trying to block Black businesses, from sharing. Well, you can't stop this move.
Exactly.
You can't stop it. And that's one of the things that we want to do. We want to give back to our community.
Mm-hmm.
So many, our Black community, because obviously there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can't get it from one place, see, my mom, here I go with my mom, and everybody mama said this though. One monkey don't stop no show.
One monkey don't stop no show.
That's something everybody say. So just because you said no, don't mean it's a yes out there somewhere waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
That is the truth. That is the
Nita,
truth.
don't you have a little garden?
I got me a little garden. Yeah, I grow.
Yeah,
and then you want me to
Nita, you make her get at least a point something. You want me
to get a little something for my garden?
I ain't say how big.
That's for the people that listen to my garden. And that's right here. Reach out and then give me a little something. We'll be right here like this. I got me something for my garden, y'all. I don't know what to do with myself. I got me something for my garden. Oh my God. That's funny, Annette. Don't you have a garden? About a little time ago, be like, oh, ma'am, we talk about something. Not your little tray of collard greens, okay? I got it on my patio. Come on, fellas, take us to the next one. We almost done. They got me cutting up.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All right.
Okay. Now this child just wanted. How you pronounce this girl last name? And then said it 100 times.
Coco Gauff.
Okay, Coco Gauff is a Grand Slam champion. The 19-year-old American secured her first major women's single title at the 2023 U.S. Open Saturday. Defeating
Belarus Arena Sablenka.
Okay. And I should know as much as I watched the commercial when she was trying to be slick. Anyway, in a 3-set slugfest and making her the youngest American to win since Serena Williams in 1999. And she said, I feel a little shocked. I feel a little bit in shock at this moment, Gauff told told the Crown after her win. The French Open loss was a hard break for me, and that makes this moment even more sweeter than I could imagine. Goff's eventual win was looking unlikely after the first set with 25-year-old Sablenka, the reigning Australia Open champ, outplaying her and taking it 6-2. That was at the beginning, okay. But the team's confidence steadily grew through the second set, particularly after a major break midway through. One epic point even led to impressive claps from Sablenka herself, okay, as Goff egged on the adoring crowd for bigger cheers. The New York City crowd, unsurprisingly, heavily favored Goff, while echoing chants of "Let's go, Coco!" Oh, let's go, Coco! Let's go, Coco! Breaking out multiple times in the second set, which she eventually won 6-3. Goff came out blazing in the third. She immediately broke Sablenka. Okay, she broke her down. Okay, all the way down. She had to be rubbed. Then held serve before breaking her again. Goff won another break late in the set, according to her to serve for the win 6-2. The team collapsed to the court before running to the stands to hug her parents and team in emotional embrace. Oh, I'm just thankful for this moment. I don't have any words for it, to be honest, she said in the post-match ceremony. When asked about how she put together, let me say that again. When asked about how she put together her massive comeback, Goff said, I just knew. Listen, here this girl said, I just knew that if I didn't give it my all, I had no shot at winning. That's why y'all hear what she said. You better give it. Listen. That's powerful. Goff went on to thank her parents, laughingly exposing her dad. She said, "This is the first time I ever seen my dad cry. He doesn't want me to tell you that." She also gave a nod to the people who didn't believe in her, to those who thought she was putting water on my fire. You were really hold up. To those who thought they were putting water on my fire, you were only adding gas to it.
Come on, preacher.
Oh,
you
that's
better
what she
say
said.
that. You better say that.
Ow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Her final thank you went out to Billie Jean King, who presented her with a check for $3 million on the 50th anniversary of King's successful fight for equal pay at the U.S. Open for women. That girl said, y'all thought y'all was putting water, but you were adding gas.
You adding fuel to my fire, honey.
Woo! And this a 19-year-old speaking like this.
Yeah.
This girl here, I've listened to some stuff she said, and oh my gosh, yeah,
Powerful.
She's amazing.
She's a powerful young lady.
Yeah, well spoken.
That baby fell back. The way that baby fell back when she won, girl, that thing that brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
It was intense too. But I'm so happy for her and so proud of her. Black girls definitely rock. We team up her and we give her.
She stood her ground. Stood her ground.
Yes.
Playing a little bit, and she should have.
Amazing.
But hey,
anyway. Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. All right, let's go, fellas. Take us to the last one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
All right, let's go to a little history here. Y'all know we like to give a little history lesson, the stuff they try to whitewash out. As the United States entered the final year of World War II, Surgeon General of the Army Norman T. Kirk told an emergency recruit meeting of 300 people in New York City that to fully meet the needs of the Army, the time had perhaps come to institute a draft for nurses. For Mabel Keaton Stoppers, Executive Secretary of the National Association of Colored Graduate Nurses, this was too much to bear. According to the historian Darlene Clark Hines, Stoppers stood up and challenged Kirk. If nurses are needed so desperately, why isn't the Army using colored nurses? Stoppers had been asking that question for long before the U.S. entered the war. Until 1941, neither the Army nor Navy Corps accepted Black nurses. Stoppers became a powerful source and the public face for the civil rights of Black nurses as the war progressed. The War Department made small steps toward integration, gradually allowing a trickle of Black nurses into the Corps, mostly to keep Stoppers and her colleagues mollified. When when she joined the National Association of Colored Graduate Nurses in 1934 as its first executive secretary, it was on life support. Founded in 1908, the NACGN sought to advance career opportunities for Black nurses and break down racial barriers in the profession. For their work towards racial justice in the nursing profession, Stoppers was awarded the Mary Mahoney Medal, named after the first Black nurse to earn a degree in the U.S. By the NACGN for distinguished service in 1947. This was followed by a Spingarn Medal, the Honest Honor Award by the NAACP in 1951 for spearheading the successful movement to integrate Negro nurses into American life as equals. And that is an incredible, incredible story. You know, a lot of times all we know is that now Black nurses, as long as I've been alive, they've been Black nurses. But think about in the day where they weren't even acknowledged and they had the information, the education and everything to do exactly what the white nurses were, but they were not seen as equal. And there were many people who had to go through the channels to get you to where you are today. That's why it's always great to think back and to be grateful for those who came before us. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there was so much more to her story, but she fought and she fought. And because of her stance, they started, of course, nurses end up being a part of the service. Mm-hmm. But it was a walk for her. But I found that story so amazing that here this lady, we have certain freedoms we don't even think about it. Yeah, you want to be a nurse, you could be a nurse. You want to be a doctor, but it was time. It was not like that. Mm-hmm. These people had to fight and fight for us to even do some of the things, even the water you drank. Mm-hmm. There were people you couldn't drink out of this fountain, and there were so many who went before us that had to fight, and now we have privileges, and we don't even have to think about it. It's just the norm.
Exactly. So, wow, great story. I really enjoyed that story, and we do. Yeah. In honor of what they did, we do teams up and applaud that is. Thank you for your contribution. All righty, well, we've come to the end of our broadcast, where we take this moment, this time, for a few little announcements and some what I call station identification, all that good stuff. So we thank you so much for tuning in. You could have gone anywhere else with your time, but you decided to come here and spend some time with your favorite co-host, myself and Annette L. Anderson. Before you go, we're going to ask you to do a few things for us. The video you're watching is either on Facebook or YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and share to the channel. Also, you can sow a seed 3 ways. One is via Cash App, $Movement Worldwide. Through Zelle, info@movementworldwide.org, or you can also become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org, click the red button, and it will take you to patreon.com where you can set up your account and set your amount. We ask for $12 a month, that's 40 cents a day, $2.80 a week. So please, ma'am, please, sir, find it in your heart to sow a seed. So that you can help us do some of the things that we're planning to do and that we still do as movement, as small as we may be, we've made some impact, a lot of great impact on the lives of some people. So please, ma'am, please, sir, sow a seed into Movement Worldwide. The other thing is, everywhere you see that globe above Annette's head, follow us at Movement Worldwide on all platforms. And you can email us your thoughts, views, comments, praise reports, prayer requests, topic ideas to info@movementworldwide.org. Now, without further ado, let me give the rundown of what we have going on all week, starting on Tuesday nights with the Andersons. They grace us with their presence from Annette's organization entitled SOAR, and you can find SOAR at AnnetteLAnderson.com. That's AnnetteLAnderson.com. So you can find SOAR there. They grace us with their presence on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. with TNT. That's Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flights.
We're not sober, are we?
And SOAR. That speak, orate, articulate, and I'm doing the moonwalk.
Oh, okay.
Where we speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. That's Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. live on this platform, Facebook and YouTube. Please, man, please, sir, come out and join us. We have a lot of fun. They have their little skit, but it be going on. We let it remember his lines, but let it get good now.
He get much better, yes.
He be calling Annette out all the time. That thing be so funny. She be giving him that look right there that she's giving us right now.
I know.
Don't we give Little the eye? Let it be handling things. He be taking care of business. So please, man, please, sir, join them on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. live, TNT with the Andersons. Then on Wednesdays, come right back here to this platform. Join us for our Wednesday night conversation. We want to see you back next week and bring some people with you to Can We Talk every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. live, where we come to you with a 3-4 conversation, starting with the idioms and phrases that make you go, We start with our transformational topic. And then from transformational topic, we go and rip the Band-Aid off, have a heart to have conversation called the power tool. And then we go from the good, the bad, and ugly, keep it light, but keep it real, and even give you some history in the process with our tea time topics. And that's Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. We are coming back on Fridays. I've gone on today on another room. I kind of got the idea, the feel. It's going to be a little different, might be a little empty in the beginning because it's different the way you reach people. But Clubhouse, we're still going to hang in there with Clubhouse. So we will be doing an announcement as to when we will return. But in the meantime, we ask you to go to your app store and you download the Clubhouse app. Follow us, find the movement, find Annette L. Anderson, find myself, become our friend, join our house, our movement, our movers and shakers house on Clubhouse. Come to Clubhouse, meet us there because we will be back on Friday nights at 8 p.m. live. But if you cannot find it, can't figure it out, you can always do this. Boom! Text the word movers to 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that. I thank you all. Yes, I made that up. I wrote it and I produced it and all of those good things. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. So text the word movers to 954-820-5050. You'll get a link right into the room in progress, and you'll get a notification anytime we go live or have any special events going on. And then on Sundays, join us right back here on this platform live each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction, where there is always, say always, Annette,
ways.
There is always a word for you. Your last thoughts on that?
Oh, yes. It's been very good. I just look forward to this. But Anita started out telling us, you hold the cards. And it's up to you what you do with them. I used to play whist. And I would set my cards up in such a way to see if I could win. Some days I won and some days I didn't. But I held the cards just the same. Mm-hmm. And just know that you don't have, I fear for my life. You don't have to fear anymore. Just know that God got you.
All righty. You don't have to fear. God got you. You hold the cards. You got this. Let's just make it happen, y'all. All righty, people. So thank you so much. You could have gone anywhere else, but you came here, and now the time has come for us to go. We love y'all, but we gotta go. With that being said, we've given you the rundown, and we love y'all. We're gonna give y'all some love. We're gonna blow some kisses. Thank you so much, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Y'all have a good peace. Another milestone reached by yours truly, Anita Faye Wilson. The Wow Effect, available everywhere. Get your copy today. Wow. Be blessed and be free. Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. Yes. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself.
Absolutely.
So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast.
As we continue to help you take your relationship from
surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orated, articulated, and reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patreon button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share.